defining yourself, defining career management, what it means to you, the importance of career management, and we're also going to be creating a SWOT analysis. So, defining yourself. I have a few questions. What is your dream job? What are you proud of? What is the best thing you've done for yourself lately? And where can I improve? I also wrote a couple other questions over here on the board. So what we'll do is just take a few minutes and just write down some notes about yourself. I shared a little bit about what led me to my current point in my career, and also what I'm looking to do in the future, and how I got here. So take some time and write some notes about where you see yourself right now, and what you're looking for. everyone's ready to discuss, I think we should move our desks into a circle. All right. So what I'd like to do now is just talk a little bit about what everyone wrote. Who wants to go first? Stephen? So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Education-wise?
Just whatever you. What do you like doing? What don't you like doing? What can you see yourself doing all day? What don't you want to do all day?
Well, first, there's not a whole lot to like about this job. I have my bachelor's in management information sciences, which is sort of like a mix of business classes and computer classes.
So you like computers, learning
Yeah,
about.
I'm more on the hardware and network side of things.
Okay.
I also have a minor in management, and that combined with my RA experience, though, I really like working with students, though, and working with teachers at the same time. So this is why I like this job in particular so much. So I started working at a help desk right after college, working for a bank, and I didn't last for long there. I was over the phone. I didn't like where I couldn't see my environment. Everything was over the phone, working in front of the software and filling out forms, basically. So I didn't last very long there, though. I moved quickly up there, but because of my technical skills and everything.
What did you learn from that job? About yourself?
Really how to communicate with any different type of level of expertise, I should say.
Okay.
What not to do with people, what to do with people. Kind of learn how to, not exactly pick your own fights though, but really kind of learn how to select my focus, I guess. Like kind of, like, you know, what's really more important is this thing, what's really stressing you out over versus that thing. But with this job though, I get a mixture of like a lot of different things. So I get, you know, work with students, I get to work with teachers and faculty and stuff. And I don't have a whole lot of managing experience though, but I kind of actually like having someone above me to kind of like check against. Like, so like, you know, I'm going to do this, but can you do that kind of thing? So, and I think I want to work up to manager position someday though, but not lose that interaction with students and faculty.
Okay. What, in terms of, do you like the hours you work? Does it mesh well with your family life, the holidays, the schedule in general? Is it the schedule you're
I
looking
don't
for?
make a list with the schedule. I kind of wonder what FLCC would be like if we were way, like just a little bit bigger, a couple more thousand students or something like that though. The decrease in enrollment is starting to scare me a little bit though, but kind of wondering how we would handle ourselves if we were just a little bigger.
Is there anything you dislike about here? Or anything you would change?
That I could change. Not really,
Okay.
actually.
All right, Deb. What about you?
Okay. So where should I start? The dream job thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So dream job, I probably would have 3 different choices, and this is an ongoing issue in my life, is finding one. I'm passionate about a lot of things, so finding the thing that I'm going to commit to 100% is an ongoing issue in defining myself. So the 3 things, one, which is not realistic, which is my ultimate dream job, would probably be planning people's vacations all day.
Okay.
And since I do that it's part-time as a business, that's been growing, that's fun. But for full-time, realistic job, one of two things. Either teach full-time in the business department, or working somewhere in higher education on an enrollment services level, with a goal of either to increase enrollment, in the idea that, I would love a job where I had some say in deciding on policy or working collaboratively with other people to help set different policies and procedures that could positively affect enrollment, researching what those would be and trying different changes. Or specifically working with students on an advisement level, like we do during advisement week specifically. So the challenge would be I'd want to have a job where I could see positive change and make a difference to individual students, because it's really rewarding to me when you work with a student one-on-one and they say, oh my gosh, you really helped me, and you can see that spark in them. But also, ideally in my career, I'd like to get to a point where I could be involved a little bit more in the bigger picture, and then the goal would be increasing enrollment by like percent or whatever the case may be. So, I don't really know.
Well,
It's a lot of different things.
Yeah. No, and it's all about, you, because what you want, what you like to do will define what the type of job that you would be happiest in. Do you have a particular environment you prefer working in?
I definitely like higher ed. For right now, when you talk about schedule-wise, for right at this very moment in my life, being a 10-month, academic-based employee is perfect for me because I have kids. But what's ideal this year may not be ideal in a year or two, or even a few more years. So I think that I'm in a transition period, and my family is aging at this point.
Okay.
So,
How old are your kids now?
11 and 14.
So they're in high school, right?
Yeah. We're still a little on.
All right, Lila.
I think for the most part, I am working my dream job. I mean, I love higher ed, I love working with the students.
What about you? What characteristics about you make this your dream job?
I think I'm good at working with people. I can be very organized. I take a lot of pride in doing follow-up work for people. So if somebody comes in with an issue and I don't know the answer, I'm really good at contacting people and agencies and getting that information to the students. Probably the thing I like least about what my job has evolved into is being in charge. And it's not that I can't do it because I think I've been doing a great job or a good job. However, that's when I went to school for social work, I always envisioned myself in working with people, never really being a supervisor or being in charge of people.
Which sounds funny because both of you kind of see yourselves in that position.
And I've worked myself into that position, but now that I have it, I'm not so sure that's where I want to stay. So.
Okay. Cool. So now, okay, defining career management. So a lot about what you guys each said about just defining yourselves, a lot of what we define in ourselves are values. And it's nice to be able to work in an environment that meets your values. For example, when I worked at Bryan Stratton, it did not meet my values in the least bit, did not meet my schedule. However, I did it because I knew that the experience I was gaining was worth that sacrifice. And I think that that was part of what I had to do in my career path. So in terms of defining career management, let's take a few more minutes and just write down things that you've done to get to the point you're at right now. So I define career management by the process by which we take ownership and control of our own career path. In terms of what you guys wrote, just from everything you wrote, what you've done to get to this point in your career, Stephen, how would you define, when you think of career management, what do you think of, just in general?
Really stand up for what you believe in.
Okay.
Not taking a lot of dirt though, but just fighting tooth and nail for what you believe in, really.
Okay.
So, whether it could be with relationships, with skills, with just having experience kind of with that though. And just speaking up for yourself, really.
Okay. What about you, Deb? Just in terms of when you think career management, what do you think?
I basically think of it as taking things into your own hands. Nobody's gonna hand you anything, and people certainly aren't gonna give you anything unless you ask or you let them know that that's what you wanna do.
For me, it's value and respect. I think you have to have, like Stephen said, you have to believe in what you're doing. It has to have value to you. You have to be able to wake up every morning and say, oh, I'm going to work. I like the people I work with, I like what I do. And respecting what you do and hopefully having people respect what you do.
Stephen, do you want to share any of the steps you've taken to, I know you mentioned it a little bit when you started after college with the help desk, but what in particular, is there anything that you did throughout your career that you can call back and say, good thing I did this because this is the experience I gained, or good thing I tried this because I know I don't want to do that?
After I went to the bank, I don't know if you've ever heard of Paychecks before. I used to work there too, and I absolutely hated it. Absolutely hated it. There wasn't one day where I would look forward to going there. And I went from that position to a completely different position when I was a network administrator for a small company. I liked that for a little while, but then it taught me that maybe I don't want to have the managerial experience. I don't have the managerial experience that I thought I might need though. So I went from one extreme to the other extreme kind of thing. Did I answer your question, or am I kind of?
No, yeah. And in terms of what you wrote down, do you want to summarize any of the steps you've taken towards your?
I learned the value of a good relationship with your coworkers. How powerful that is to keep everybody happy as you possibly can, and to just work with other people. Might not be the best thing, or might not be the your most favorite thing, though, but kind of just, I want to do this for me and I'll do that for you kind of thing.
How do you feel like learning that, how will that carry into your next position?
It's a good question.
In terms of what you can do, what can you do to make sure that something you value, that will, you can have that in your next.
Keep in my technical skills. Just show them confident in the position I'm going to be in, or I'm in right now. So.
Have you done any, are you doing some classes towards?
They're just online, kind of recorded seminars that I'm listening to and stuff like that, though. And then my supervisor and I discussed possibly giving some specific certifications done, which are very vendor central.
Okay.
So.
Are there any particular steps you're taking right now towards that next position, whatever it may be?
Improving my communication skills. Through the help of seminars, webinars, and stuff like that. So.
Okay. Great. How about you, Jen?
Okay, well, I think the biggest thing that I did in the past that helped me on my path was volunteering to become an advisor when I was an adjunct. when I first did the training for that, not for summer advising where you got paid, but just to actually have advising load. I don't think that's something that many adjuncts just take on and want to do. But I did it because I really wanted to know about it. But also, as time went on, it became evident that it was probably one of the things that possibly helped me get my current job. And something that definitely makes me better at my current job. Other things, I don't know, but maybe volunteering for committees or things in the past that I had done when I was an adjunct here.
Anything you're doing right now?
Definitely could be doing more.
Well, so what do you want? Is there anything you want to be doing?
Well, I don't know. I wanna be doing something more in enrollment management, but I don't know what that is.
Yeah. So you feel like you're in a transition now? Okay.
Definitely.
What about you, Marla?
Well, I know I started out after I got my first degree. I thought I wanted to be a teacher, and then once I got into it, I didn't like it at all. So then I got into outreach work, so providing services for people, taking them to doctor's appointments, making appointments for them, referring them to agencies. Did that for a couple of years, and I realized that was high burnout for me, and I didn't feel like I was really helping empower people, so I knew I didn't want to do that. So in the agency I worked, there were a lot of people that were actually doing direct counseling, and I thought that might be something I'd like to do. So that's what I went to school for. Never really got into it because I got hired by the college. So where I'm at right now, I think I got there by, like Deb, volunteering to do things that I weren't in my job description. However, I wanted to learn. So I think that's helped me meet people. Networking, I think that's really important. I think you have to meet a lot of different types of people and make relationships. I call it building bridges, but I think that's always helped me, networking. I'm at a point right now where I am doing some online stuff. Probably not, doesn't really help me in the current job that I'm doing right now, but thinking about my career path and what I want to do is probably in another year or two, I see myself going into counseling, just direct counseling with, I've always wanted to work with women, and I'd probably end up working with children because there's a lot of trainings out there. So, I think definitely educating yourself or taking classes continually, whether it's what you're doing right now or just things that you want to learn is really important.
In terms of the importance of career management, does anyone have any feelings one way or the other about whether or not they feel career management is something important in your journey or something you have been doing? I feel like a lot of us, we take steps to meet, our short-term goals because we know the next level we want to get to, but we might not label it career management. It just might be something we're doing. So in terms of the importance of career management, does anyone in terms of your own experience have anything to add and why you feel like it may be important, any experience that you've had in the past, or?
I think for me, currently, is like Deb's got like some interest she wants to pursue, and I realize that I've been doing this job for a long time, but there's other interests that I have. So now I'm just trying to see how I can incorporate some of those interests perhaps into a career that's maybe a little different than what I've been doing now. Not because I don't like what I'm doing, but just because I feel like there's so much out there to learn. And so, personally, I want to grow. And what that means to me right now in my life is just learning new skills And if it gets me to another career path, wonderful. If it just gives me new skills to maybe help me where I am right now to do different things in my job, that's even wonderful. So I think, yeah, I think it's really important to constantly question yourself, because that's what I've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really kind of nice. I didn't do that before, and I'm not sure why, but,
So you can see the benefit and.
oh yeah, just coming to, this workshop, that's why I was interested in it. I just wanted to just
Mhm.
be more open to learning and doing other things, because it kind of, I don't know if I want to say it scares me, but just something new.
Mhm.
So this is why I think, listening to what other people have to say,